Hi guys, welcome back. Okay, today we're going to be doing two colors in the CMW workbook. And it's going to be diazonine purple hue and violet blue. Diazonine purple hue, that's pages 177, 178, and 179. If you're using your master sheets, print out one, write it in. Diazonine purple hue is PC 132. Color in your little block, and we're ready to go. The same thing goes for the violet. The violet blue is PC 933, and it's pages 189, 190, and 191. And I do apologize, I did not print these out in color. I am on ink austerity. They stopped making the ink for my printer. I don't even know why. It's not even that old, the printer. It's just a couple of years old, and we can no longer get the ink. I have two black, I have no color ink, and I have two black left. And that's to last me through November because we're waiting for, I guess, the holiday sales to get a new printer. We know the one we want, so I'm kind of hoping that one goes on sale. It's expensive, but I'm finally going to get like a decent printer. Today we're going to be talking about these two, and why? Because they're very similar in tone. The violet blue, now these are the tips that I'm going to be giving you, so write them down in the tips area. The violet blue is a slightly lighter purple, and they both hail on the blue side. And the diazonine purple hue, this is a very popular color. In fact, it was Pantone's like color of the year like last year. They work kind of similarly. And I want to start by talking about the pigments in the pencils themselves. And one of the reasons I put these two together, because they're both the same. It's like dragging lead weight. Now, if you are used to that creamy Prismacolor swoosh when you build up the layers, you're not going to like these two colors. They do not react that way. Unfortunately, they are not the greatest blending pencils. When I was working with them, later on in this video, you will see that I was working with them, and it was like dragging lead weight through the paper. My hands got tired, so if you're experiencing that, just know that you're not alone. I think it's just that they put so much pigment into these two. Now, if we want to talk about the pigment, these are some of the most highly pigmented pencils that Prismacolor puts out. There's just one or two layers and you've got really dark colors, so be careful on that. And when you're using these two, it's weird because sometimes they skip and you get like a whitish streak. So they're really not the greatest blended pencils in the bunch. I don't use diazonine purple hue all that much. I will use the violet blue sometimes, but I kind of avoid using the diazonine purple hue just because I don't like the feel. It's like nails on a chalkboard for me. So let's talk about these colors on the color wheel. So here we have the color wheel, and we have the purple. Now we're going to pretend that this color purple is either the violet or the diazonine or the purple hue. One or the other. They both hail from the bluer side, so if you split this down the middle, you would have one that would be more predominantly on the red side and some that is more predominantly on the blue side. So what does that make this color? It's one of those split colors when it comes to warm and cold. Warm being red, cool being blue. So a purple would sit right in the middle, and depending on what's in that purple, whether it hails from the blue or hails from the red, is whether it is considered cool or warm. Another color that would do that is the green. Orange is warm. Green can split. It's the only two colors that are really split on the wheel. So here we have the purple, And we're going to see how it reacts to other colors. Now, this is very important. If you can understand how a color reacts, you can figure out whether the color is going to be good or bad when it comes to blending. Somebody brought up the subject to me about blending versus palette. A color could be great when it comes to blending, or it could be good for a palette, or both. Now, what I mean by blending is when you mix these two colors, it creates another color. That would be a blended color. A palette would involve multiple colors that sit next to each other that just happen to look really good together. And that's how you get color schemes. Now we're going to look at the color scheme. Going directly across, you would have yellow being the complementary color to purple. You have red and green being complementary, and blue and orange being complementary colors. It's what sits opposite. They don't necessarily blend together at all. They usually make mud. A combination of your complementary colors creates brown, and brown is mud. You don't necessarily get a pretty brown. Usually most people, when it comes to the color wheel and colored pencils, once they start mixing that, do not get a good color, because we can't control 2 parts to 1 part of one color over the next. We kind of just have to go by feel. With paint, it would be completely different. Here we have purple and orange. They sit with red right in between. Never mind the pink, and it's called a dyad color scheme. And that's the color scheme we're going to be working with today. Yes, it is Halloween. We're going to be working with orange and purple, but we're not going to do a Halloween picture today. Orange is comprised of red and yellow. There you have orange. Orange, picking up the yellow in it, it would blend really bad with purple. It's just not a good mix. What you're going to get is a lot of mud. And here we're going to bring in another color. We're going to bring in a buffer color. I view the ultimate authority on all color matters as Mother Nature. And I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about, because even Mother Nature said, bring in that buffer color, and I'm going to show you what she did. Purple and green do not go, because what does it have in it? Green is a mixture of blue and yellow. Yellow reacting with the purple makes mud. Green is not. All your greens are not good blending colors with purple. Do purple and green look good in a palette? Yeah, it's nature. You could get that in flowers. It's going to be very pleasing to your brain. The purple does work well with palettes, just not in the blending. Now, what it does blend nice with is the blue and with the red. You can make it purple, a reddish purple, even though it has blue in it, because really these 3 colors mix well together. So any of your blues are good, any of your reds, your pinks, because pink is just a mixture of white and red to a point. You can add other things in there, like a little bit of on the bluer side, but we'll get into that at another time. Let's just concentrate on the purple. Once again, purples do not mix with the yellows, so you can't mix it with the orange, and you can't mix it with green. Now things are going to start making a little bit more sense to you in the lesson that I just gave you. Here is, in the upper left-hand side, a picture of real flowers. So it was perfect for this example. Now, if you look really closely onto the flower petals, you're going to notice it's not just purple. It's also got red, and the red goes right in between the purple and the orange. Mother Nature knows best. And you'll often find this where the red starts to pull away from the purple and creates the orange. That's how I guess nature did this. But you have that buffer color in between that makes it look okay. My only problem in doing this picture is working with those pencils was very difficult. Those colors just did not want to flow. and I'm glad I don't have to do it that often. So for my colors, I used a combination of the diazine purple hue, I used scarlet red, I used orange, blue violet, and I just basically repeated those colors back and forth. I did add in a little bit of sienna brown in there. You can, because everything mixes into sienna brown. All those colors kind of make brown. You can add brown to the orange. It's a very nice combination. You can add brown to red, and that becomes a very good combination. So I did help the pencil along blending by adding a little bit of sienna. But there wasn't many colors that I used on this. I couldn't use white because my normal blend, I didn't want to use the white because it would dilute out the colors, and the colors in these flowers are really super bright. To get this really bright orange, I used orange, but I also used some neon orange too to give it that little bit of glow. And you'll see me bouncing back and forth. I also used a little bit of pumpkin orange in there too, just to get that right color. I did make the orange a little bit darker than it was in the picture because honestly it was a little bit difficult to get that blend. With markers it would have been much easier. And here you could see as I'm working with the violet and the purple hue, that you do get that little white streak in it. Had I pressed a little harder, I could have gotten it out. And as I got layer upon layer put in towards the end of it, it did blend out. I was able to achieve that, but it was not easy. This was not a one that just flowed. I spent let's say about 4 days doing this. A lot of hours each day. And unfortunately, it wasn't something that I was really looking forward to doing because to me, it bothered me. Like nails on a chalkboard give you the chills. I got that sort of feeling when working with these pencils, but the end it worked out. There I was lightening it with a little bit of goldenrod too, so you can add that to the list if you really want to do these color combinations. At this point I was like 3/4 of the way done with the flowers, but there's still a lot of layers. I cut out a lot of video because it was just repetitive, going over and over the same. So here I have almost finished picture. I'm not finished stippling it. To add on to what I had showed you with the stippling, I'm still working on the shading on the background. I added some larger dots. That's not ink splotches. I did that on purpose. And it just gives it a little bit richer texture. It's another thing you can add on to it to give it dimension. So I'm going to keep on stippling. And when I'm done, I will show you the completed picture. And for those of you who decide that you want to stipple, this background is always good for just about everything you do. If you like what you saw and you want to see more, hit that like and subscribe. Don't forget to ring that bell for all notifications. For another video just like this one, I recommend this. and I'll see you in my next video. Take care. Keep on coloring.